Winding stream, it must not be too wide, where waving leaves from maple trees do meet from either side. The water must be deep enough to float a small canoe with no one else but you. Do not disturb my waking dream. Love's splendor on that winding stream. Flower in my canoe, his eyes they look me through. That someone there with golden hair is very much like you.
Well, hello everybody, this is Garrett, not from 11 Bang Bang. This is from my own channel today. I haven't sat down and done one of these since, what day was that? Let's see. Oh, that was St. Patrick's Day last time I did one of these. And if you're not familiar, this is just where I sit down on my own channel where I don't have to worry about monetization or what people are going to say or what people think, and I just sit here and kind of give my thoughts. Be that as it may, it usually just turns into rambling. Today I'm not in the horse pasture, nor am I in the North Draw. Today I'm down on the Medicine Lodge River, or Medicine Lodge Creek. Actually, right in this area right here is where Custer and his guys would have come down through here before they went through the on down south to the Washita. And real historical place. I just thought I'd stop. It's about noon right now, so I thought it's a good time, lunch hour. Just stop and shut the equipment down and just take a walk down to the river and kind of decompress and talk to you guys. Beautiful place here, as most people call it, the Medicine Lodge Creek, because it's not very big, and we've only had 30 hundredths of rain all basically since last Thanksgiving, and we are in the early stages of May right now. So the only water we got is this river. All the ponds are dry. The only water we got is this river, and it's coming from way out western in the state. So we got the cattle turned down on the river so they can drink, but it is springtime, and hopefully tonight and tomorrow, according to the weather forecast, we might actually get some rain, and it'd be nice. But we did get, like I said, 30 hundredths 2 days ago when I was walking through here, and I noticed that some of the tree stumps had water in them, and the squirrels had been down getting a drink, and things had kind of turned a little bit greener, and I was very thankful for that. A lot of squirrels down here right now. Of course, they know as soon as the squirrel season's over, they start popping out, you know. Seems like in February they eat hedge apples down here, and they'll tear hedge apples apart. They really start showing up after all those hedge apples have disappeared out of their nest, all those seeds. And then last year's hedge apples are rotten and the blooms are coming on. And the whole woods out there is alive. Walking through here, I even saw a big bull snake, so I guess that means the warm weather is here, correct? And probably seen 50 squirrels walking through there, and I didn't have a rifle, not in season anyway. It'll be season here. I believe our season starts the 1st of June again, and so we'll probably be heading out here to get a few. I haven't took the Kibler out squirrel hunting. Been doing it with my big smoothbore, not having that much luck. Usually my shots are in this area, and the shots are, 25 to 50 yards away, and it's hard to do with a smoothbore without, even with the Sky Chief load, the pattern gets pretty wide at that range. You might get them with one BB. But yeah, we can get some flintlocks out and do some squirrel hunting here in a month or two. But was walking down through here, and I was thinking about my great grandma, Betty. I called her Grandma Great. And I was thinking about how she used to walk down in this country, and every day at one point in her life after World War II, you know, she got a little overweight, like I am right now, a lot overweight. And in order to beat it, she didn't have a really fancy diet programs or anything like that. She just started every evening going out walking the hills, and she'd walk 2-3 miles. Or she'd walk on the river in the summertime, in the wintertime she'd walk out, or vice versa actually. I think she walked the river in the wintertime when the wind was blowing, and in the summer she'd walk the hills. And just walked every day until she got down to like 120 pounds. And that just was in great shape her whole life. I was thinking about her, and I thought, man, she's been gone for 10 years or so. And then I stopped and thought about it, and I realized she died in 2003. That was 20 years ago this year. And I really had to stop and think about it. And I was like, you know what? I miss her just as much now as I did probably 5 years into the grieving process. It never ends. I mean, it's not as bad as it was obviously the day of or the month of, but I'm always gonna miss her. She was the last tie I really had, as far as in my own family, to the Depression generation. She wasn't a small child in the Depression. She was in her upper teens and a young woman. And my grandpa too. And they picked cotton, you know, down Texas, Oklahoma, all over the place. They picked cotton to survive, and then the war came, and grandpa went to war. And when he came back, they got married, and life was pretty good after that. But they come up in those hard times. Grandpa, he lived on jackrabbits, you know, jackrabbits and squirrels. Grandma too, that's how they got through the Depression. And he didn't even use, obviously they had muzzleloader rifles even in my area here. They used a lot of for hunting squirrels because it was cheap to shoot. But he used a slingshot, and he was an expert with a slingshot. And I can't even tell you on here what he called that slingshot, but he was an expert with a slingshot, and he could shoot a squirrel out of a tree, and he did it a lot. Oh, there's a summer tick right there. Whew. But anyway, he did it a lot, and that's how they survived. Muzzle-loading rifles and slingshots all the way through the Depression around here. They lived on squirrels and jackrabbits, and as a matter of fact, he was part of the jackrabbit drives where they would go across the pasture and they would circle these jackrabbits into a pen and kill them with a club. And that's how people survived. And different times. And I was just walking down here thinking about it. I thought, you know, times have changed. Killing a jackrabbit with a club would be frowned upon today. But the country hasn't changed. Droughts one year, rain the next. Nothing changes. It goes on the same way, the same cycle, the same way it has for thousands of years, and regardless whether we're here or not looking at it. And that's what I was just thinking. The country, people have changed. But this tree right now that this camera is setting on was growing here during the Great Depression and before. And unless something drastic happens, it'll be here a long time after said depression. A long time after now, you know, if we go back into the depression. But yeah, I just thought I'd come down here on the riverbank and talk and kind of reminisce about my grandparents. And they've been gone a long time now, but seems like just yesterday, you know, we were cutting wood, and because that's all they'd use for heat, and it's still what a lot of people use just for heat around here. We cut wood in the summertime, raised animals, and my grandpa worked out at the gyp mill for a long time, and then when he retired, that's all basically he wanted to do was come out here to the river and go fishing, and that's what he spent the last 15-20 years of his life doing. Well, woodworking, you know, he'd come out here, he'd build a birdhouse and bring it out here in the trees and nail it up to a tree, even though the birds had nests everywhere. And he just birdhouses all over this country. Still to this day, I'll walk up to a tree and I'll see an old nail in it and the remnants of a piece of wood there, and I'll be like, that was Grandpa Don, he was here. He did it everywhere, just Birdhouses all over the country. He loved build birdhouses. I bet he built 500 of them. So anyway, spring's here. Like I said, everything's greening up. It's going to be time for me and my brothers to go fishing pretty soon, I think. Obviously, it's going to be hard in this little shallow river at the moment, but they're in there. They're just in holes hiding up in the bank. You just got to know where to find them. I hope y'all enjoyed this little rant. It's just a good day to walk down in the timber and decompress just a little bit. You know, I don't have to talk about guns. I talk about history because I love the history. But, you know, it's not about guns today. It's not about anything in particular. It's about listening to the wind blowing the trees and watching that squirrel right there go right up that tree. He's laughing at me because he knows, haha, you can't shoot at me, and even if you could, you'd probably miss anyway. I hear the cattle bawling off in the distance, and there's a pulling unit way out there somewhere working on a well. Well, anyway, that's all I have today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little ramble. This is just one of those things I do when I want to get what I'm thinking off my chest. I'll see you later.